Welcome in, guys. Happy Thursday. We have a good game tonight. I am joined by my favorite hosts. I have Elliot over here. I've got Ray down here looking Texas as all get out. We are excited. We got Bucs and Eagles tonight. Elliot, what's up? Start us off. How you doing?
Yeah, honestly, I'm doing great. Ray, let me holler at you real quick. Looking fly as hell in that hat, but I think we both agree that Brooke's the real star of the show. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say, brother.
And every time she sets us up, right? She's an amazing host. She kicks to us. She gives us nice intros. She always makes us look good, right? But I feel like Brooke never gets her intro. Do you agree with that?
That's legit. That's true.
So I feel like she deserves an intro.
Let's do it.
And now, starting at host for FTN Network, standing at 5'7" out of Texas A&M University, weight is not something that I will guess. You know her as the player of props, the winner of bets, the first touchdown knower, the one, the only, Brooke Cromer!
Thanks.
Yeah.
You guys are the best ones. I am not worthy. Thank you.
Honestly,
we
Brooke,
started it off
that's
right.
yeah. I mean, listen, I've been planning that all day. Ray did not know that I was going to do that. I rehearsed that like 8 times, so we'll see how that went. But I
That
had
was
fun doing it.
dope. That was dope. That
Blessing.
was dope. That was dope. That was dope.
That was incredible. I appreciate it. You guys are truly the best. This FTM family, they are incredible, y'all. I can't explain it. So Elliot and I kind of we're going. I mean, we're going off script today. We've got that whole intro, whatever that was, and then I have an NFL slash baseball jersey on. Elliot's got a college football slash NBA jersey. Tell him about this LeBron Ohio State thing you've got.
Well,
going on.
listen, the Bucks are almost on prime time too much that I try to stay in theme, but I can only wear the same Bucks jersey so many times. So I figured the GOAT's playing tonight. Let me put the basketball GOAT jersey on. And if you don't agree that LeBron's the GOAT, you're going to say, well, Jordan's the GOAT, right? And so I gave the Michael Jordan intro to Brooke, who's also the GOAT. So I just figured, we stayed in theme in a different way today.
Yeah.
It's the GOAT theme. This is an intense fantasy happy hour. This is the GOAT of the fantasy happy hours. Ray, yes. I mean, you didn't even get to say much. How you doing down there in Texas?
I'm doing well. I'm fresh off the road, traffic. I'm here. Jerseys are in the closet. I did not tap out this week. I wanted to make sure I was here. I got people DMing me. Cody Carpentier from Roto Underworld DMing me. Hey, I thought the show was supposed to start 10 minutes ago. Where the hell is Brooke? I don't care about you and Elliot. Where's Brooke at? Let's go.
We're waiting. But we are all here now. We have a great game tonight. First, let's start off with the MLB Optimizer. It is free to use, FTNDaily.com during the MLB playoffs. I'm repping MLB tonight, kind of, sort of. This is as close to baseball as I get. And in addition, with NBA starting, there is an early bird special for both daily and bets to get you the entire year for one low price. Check out FantasyDaily.com and FantasyBets.com for more. On to our game, NFL, what we're here for. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Eagles. Bucs are a 6.5 favorite in this game. Where are you guys swaying in this game? Elliot, I'll start with you, who you have the Bucs-ish jersey on tonight.
Yeah. Well, I lean the Bucs here. Honestly, I don't love it. I like the total better than the Bucs. It's a short week on the road. 6.5 points that's no joke of a spread. We're talking about a team that if they were home in this game, they'd be favored by 12.5. The Eagles, like Hurts' play has been up and down this year. There's been some great. There's been some bad. Their defense is atrocious, but one of the things they do a good job is they keep everything in front of them. So they're going to make the Bucs beat them consistently. However, that's something that Tom Brady can do, and they can rely on the run game. The hardest part about the Buccaneers is that they can just win in so many different areas. They do struggle with their secondary. Obviously, they're not healthy. Missing Antoine Winfield in this one, missing Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy Buntling, Richard Sherman, and Pierre Desir are not what they once were. Jamel Dean's a solid corner, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I ultimately do think the Bucs win by about a touchdown. I the way I would bet this game is like I would put the spread in certain same game parlays that tell a story where the Bucs win, as opposed to just betting it straight up.
Right? In agreement.
Yeah, yeah, I'm in agreement, and I think this is one of those weird games where, you know, Philly is Philly has played well offensively the past 2 weeks, and it might be a little bit of a situation where Tampa Bay. I hope they're not overlooking Philly. I'm not going to sit here and say Philly's going to beat them, but I do think this game is a little bit closer, at least throughout the first 3 quarters, fourth quarter, than a lot of people may be expecting. I think a lot of casual fans are expecting Tampa Bay to just come in here and just steamroll them. Let's not get it twisted. That defense is vulnerable through the air, and Philadelphia have a couple of pieces, especially offensively, that can threaten Tampa Bay, especially those the secondary, right, the safeties and the cornerbacks. And I talked about this earlier on the Wake Up Show. Jalen Hurts needs to perform in this matchup. I think just from a confidence standpoint, not just for himself, but for the Philadelphia Eagles organization, he needs to play well. We saw Mac Jones play well versus Tampa Bay. We saw Dak Prescott do his thing versus Tampa. Matt Ryan did his thing until the 2 pick sixes. So I think Jalen Hurts really needs to have a strong performance in this one. And, quite frankly, he's going to have to do it with his arm.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think a lot better than people are expecting. I have the Bucs in this game. I think they cover the spread. On to total over under 52.5. Does that seem high or a little bit low? Elliot, where are you sitting?
To be honest, with the Bucs, I don't think you can really set a total that's too high because of how good of an offense they have, right? The lowest they scored this season was against the Patriots in the rain, and frankly, Tom Brady had too many. It's like that was the first time he played a game with emotions as opposed to pressure, and the emotions led to him being too jazzed up. But the Eagles defense is not good, right? And the Bucs defense, teams are averaging over 45 pass attempts per game against them and only rushing it 15 times per game. Like Jalen Hurts last week, his player prop for passing attempts was 30 and a half attempts, and this week it's 38 and a half. His passing yardage prop is up over 40 yards. Both these teams are top 5 in pace. The Eagles are going to be able to score, and Tom Brady and the Bucs should put up 30 points in their sleep tonight. So I really like the over. It's one of my favorite bets in this game. And I think one of the things I love about betting Bucs games is teams don't run against them. So you can start betting into all the props against that. And it's even better with the Eagles because they will abandon the run quicker than anyone in the NFL, right? And like Jalen Hurts will probably lead the team in rush attempts tonight. So I really like the over. I think Devonta Smith, Quez Watkins could have some big plays. Jalen Reagor, hopefully he kind of gets it together. But Watkins and Smith could give them real issues in that secondary.
Right?
Yeah, I'm with EC on this one. I like the over. Tampa Bay's going to get theirs. There's no doubt about it. They are going to be able to move the ball. I know Philadelphia's got a tough defensive line. They've got 2 interior defensive tackles that are playing really good. They've got an active linebacker in Singleton that's really good. And, Darius Slay in the secondary, we saw Slay I believe he had 2 interceptions last week. But Tampa Bay's going to be able to move the ball at will through the air. I think Leonard Fournette, we're going to see that he's going to find some success against Philadelphia as well. And we just talked about it a few minutes ago. Jalen Hurts is going to have to make magic happen with his arms, with his legs, and he's got the weapons to make that happen. With Jalen Reagor, with Devonta Smith, with Quez Watkins, who I love Quez Watkins in this matchup. I'm with Elliot. I'm taking the over in this matchup.
I'm over too. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a fun one, that's for sure. Jalen Hurts, let's talk about this Eagles quarterback. He's at over under 280.5 passing yards. Where are we sitting on Jalen Hurts throwing it through the air tonight? Elliot.
So I'm kind of mad they made it this high because I think this is the right number. Jalen Hurts has, he's had multiple 300-yard performances. They're going to throw the ball a ton in this one. He's probably been the most disrespected player in the prop market, and I bet him every single week to go over 230 passing yards, 240 passing yards. I mean, Hurts' biggest issue is like accuracy, right? And sometimes decision making coming off a read. But his deep ball and big plays are not an issue for Jalen Hurts. And with the volume he's going to pass at here, I really like the over. I mean, Jacoby Brissett's season high was 215 yards heading into the Bucs game, and he threw for 275 yards and got hurt during the game. Like, the Bucs through the first 4 weeks of the season gave up more passing yards than any team in the history of football. I don't know how you take the under. I would lean the over for sure. I think it's a good number. I know I have some same game parlays on FanDuel where I got them down to 250, and there's not been a quarterback that's thrown for less than 270 on them this year. So I like that a lot. But I lean over Jalen Hurts 280.5 yards tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you, EC. I'm going over. I've already locked that in. Shout out to Prize Picks, man. Prize Picks, I took the over on Jalen Hurts. I think it was like 281.5 on there. But I'm with you. And again, let's like make your bets tell a story, right? If Tampa Bay is going to get on top of Philadelphia early, right? If let's just say they start out at 7-0, 14-0, boom, boom. They will completely, and we've seen Philadelphia do this the past 3-4 weeks. They will completely abandon the run. Like, just the hell with the run. Let's just throw the ball. Jalen Hurts doing some things on the ground with his legs. I love the over for Jalen Hurts in this matchup. Well, let me say this. I don't love the over, but if Tampa Bay is going to do what we believe Tampa Bay can do, Jalen Hurts is going to have a very good opportunity to hit that over number.
See, I went the opposite way. I went over, and I went strictly on FTN's projections because I was not sure on this one. I was on the fence. So I looked it up. He's projected 246. We're gonna see. We're gonna see who's right on this one. I'm a little nervous now because I put that in the Prize Pick. So thanks, guys. Thanks for making me sweat a little bit. We got Mike Evans next. My Aggie Gig'em. I love this kid. I am so excited to see him play tonight. One of my favorite wide receivers in the entire league. And he's sitting at 66.5 receiving yards. Elliot, give my Aggie some love, please. Are you going with the over on this one?
Well, first and foremost, congratulations, man. That was quite the upset. 51-48. I don't know if you saw the video of the kicker's mom and girlfriend watching the kick happen live, and then he made it, and they just start bawling. That was
really... actually Brooke. That was Brooke.
I
showed
that video to my mom, and I was like, that was literally what my mom and I looked like when my dad was coaching the Saints, and Garrett Hartley kicked the field goal to send us to the Super Bowl, and we're just bawling in each other's eyes, and I was like, or in each other's arms. I was like, Mom, this is us. This is beautiful. So my Aggies are carrying on the tradition and kicking it to win against Bama. I mean, that was highlight of my week. But go on, Elliot.
I love Mike Evans, the player. And the interesting thing is the Eagles are very bad DVOA against the deep ball. Like, Tyreek Hill got them big time. But only 15% of passes against them this year have been deep balls. Like, they really play in that too high shell. They play a very similar style to the Chargers. They're just not nearly as good. But they try to force everything underneath, right? And Evans and Brown both have an ADOT of about 14 yards this year. So they're bigger play receivers. The thing about Evans, I don't like betting this because I don't know the volume he's going to get in this game. Like, Patrick Mahomes, I think he threw for 275 or 280 against the Eagles, and that's the most yards they've allowed to any quarterback this season. I think it's really going to be the Chris Godwin game working underneath in the middle. His ADOT's 9, 5 yards lower than either of the other two receivers. So the Eagles' secondary isn't particularly good, but they do keep things in front of them. So that tends to not be a huge game for Mike Evans. But Mike Evans is also the kind of dude that it doesn't even necessarily matter the matchup. You can throw one ball up to him for 40, 50 yards, and he'll, moss a dude, and it's all done. So I wouldn't bet this one. I prefer Chris Godwin, but I would lean the under.
Ray, where are you sitting with my Aggie?
I don't know. This is one where I wouldn't touch it. Mike Evans, his last two games versus Philly, and the last one being in 2018, so a while ago, he's averaging 9.5 targets, 7 receptions, 73 yards, and a touchdown, given that was with Jameis Winston, no Tom Brady, no Antonio Brown, completely different team, different coach. But Mike Evans, he's had some success versus Philly last year. What's going to be interesting is who's lined up across from him, and I think Tom Brady will exploit that. I do not believe it will be Darius Slay, and I don't think Steven Nelson or whoever the hell else Philadelphia is going to roll out there is going to be able to stop Mike. So if just gut feeling, I have no conviction in this. I would not bet this, but I think Mike Evans has a really good shot to go over this total tonight.
I went over as well. I looked at the stats. He hasn't had a game under 75 yards since week one. And I'm counting on that happening again just because I love the man. So I'm betting over on that one. I actually did on Prize Picks. So we're praying tonight. We're watching this game and
Yeah.
praying.
So Mike Evans is going over. Brooks got him over. He's going over.
He's going over. He's going over. The Aggies are doing good this week. So we're sticking with that like mojo we got going on. I got Zach Ertz over here, receiving yards 44 and a half. I'm sitting under on this one. Elliot, do you agree with me?
Zach Ertz has looked very washed for a couple years, right? And then he did the whole I'm going to dye my hair blonde thing and go through the 15-year-old puberty thing where I'm going to try to look like a different person. The image just popped up on the screen. Good Lord, it's kind of terrifying to look at. But the interesting thing about Zach Ertz, right, is that the Bucs stink at covering tight ends. They're allowing over 8 targets per game to the position, and there's no Dallas Goedert. And even with Zach Ertz not being very good, he's gotten a lot of volume when Dallas Goedert hasn't played. He's averaging 6.75 targets per game. So I'm just banking on the volume here. You know, we talked about the fact that Jalen Hurts is going to throw the ball a lot. I personally like him over 280 yards. It can't just be Devontae Smith going over 280 yards. And, you know, the other thing that I think really works to our advantage here and why I like the over is that the Bucs have given up 40-plus yards to at least 3 opposing receivers in every game this year. And 3 of the 5, 4 or more guys have gone over 40 yards. So this is not a big number. He should get a lot of volume in a good matchup where the Eagles have to throw a lot. So I like the over 43.5 tonight.
Yeah, I'm with EC, and here's another reason why. No Antoine Winfield Jr., no Levante David. They're missing 2 positions that their assignment is to cover the tight end. So you're missing one of the better young safeties in the NFL in Winfield Jr. and a very athletic linebacker in Levante David. I like Zach Ertz, and you know the tight end. We see Jalen Hurts target the tight end often. We see him put some of those downfield balls right in the belly of Dallas Goedert. So, I mean, this is all the Zach Ertz show tonight. It's going to be all Zach Ertz all the time as far as that tight end position is concerned. No Levante David, no Antoine Winfield Jr. I like Ertz's chances. And again, the story, Philadelphia having to play catch up with Tampa Bay, or hell, maybe they get out in front of Tampa Bay and they're pacing for a little bit. But I do like Zach Ertz's opportunity and chances to hit that over tonight.
Let's talk about this Tampa Bay run game. This is where I think it gets interesting when you have Tom Brady as quarterback, then Leonard Fournette as running back. He's sitting at 62 and a half rush yards. Elliot, over under 62 and a half.
Oh, it's over. And frankly, I bet him in one of my same game parlays. I bet him over 100 yards in this game. Like Chuba Hubbard just went over 100 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire just went over 100 yards. Zeke had 95 yards. And Ray, I would like to apologize. Zeke regained the fountain of youth and now has explosive ability. And you were right. I was wrong. So I just want to say that on the record. Tony Pollard also in that game had 60 rushing yards. The Eagles have allowed more rushing attempts against them than any other team in the league. And while a lot of people didn't believe this was going to be Fournette's backfield coming into the year, it very, very clearly is. So Fournette should see crazy volume against a team that is below average stopping the run. And, you know, that's kind of all you need for 62 and a half. I think Fournette is going to be fed tonight. I think he's going to go for over 100 yards and get in the end zone.
Yep. Over. Playoff Lenny, Uncle Lenny, LSU Lenny, Leonard Fournette, death taxes and over 62 or whatever his damn yards are. He's going to go over. He's going to go over. Philadelphia can't stop anybody. They can't stop the run. They're getting ran against. Cordero Patterson's running all over him. Zeke Elliott, Tony Pollard, some high school kid from DeSoto, Texas. I want Leonard Fournette over. It's over. I'm not going to go any deeper than that.
I'm going over. I'm hoping to see 100 yards on the ground for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Then we're really going over for the total, too, because that one's going to be aired out. Then we're going to throw it. All right. I got Tom Brady, 26 pass completions. I mean, it's Tom Brady. Elliot, it's Tom Brady. Tell me what you're going with here. He's the GOAT.
He is the GOAT. And again, it goes back to the Eagles really keeping things in front of them, right? So I actually bet with Fournette's over rushing yards, Tom Brady's under passing yards, because I think those two things correlate very well. But I do think there's a chance that Tom Brady completes over 26.5 passes because the Eagles keep everything in front of them. So they're not going to have as many big chunk plays down the field. They're going to score a lot of points, but that leads to more consistent drives, right? So, it might be like a 4-yard pass to Chris Godwin instead of a 15-yard pass to Mike Evans. But you prefer those 4-yard passes when you bet the completions. You want those sustained 12, 13, 14 play drives because that's how you rack up those completions. So I would prefer the Brady completion number to the yards number tonight.
Right?
Yeah, I think I kind of like the over on this one. I think Tom Brady's on a mission, y'all. Like for real. I think he's on a mission. That week versus New England. No passing touchdowns in that game. I mean, and then he comes back 5 touchdowns last week. I think he wants to make a statement. They get 10 days rest after this matchup. I think Tom Brady's going to come out firing often, and I do think that he's going to have a lot of completions, and Leonard Fournette can still get his. But at the end of the day, I think Tom Brady's going to have his way with the secondary. I really do. I think he's going to have his way with the secondary, and 26 completions, while I don't like, it's just not my favorite prop to bet. I just don't. I have not found a winning formula to do that. But Tom Brady over that number, I kind of like it. I kind of like it in this one.
I'm going over on this one. He's also my fantasy quarterback, so he better go over on this one because I need some points. I need to win this league. Any other bets y'all are looking at tonight? Y'all got going tonight. What's your favorites here?
So, I'll jump into one that I like a lot, and Ray and I touched on it a little bit, and that's Quez Watkins over 39.5 receiving yards.
Yep.
He's passed Jalen Reagor on the depth chart in terms of he outsnapped him last week. He's going to play more in the 2 wide sets. Jalen Hurts is going to throw the ball a ton. He's gone over this number multiple times this year. He can go over this number in one play. He might be the fastest guy in the field. Like he's a game-breaking talent, right? He had that 91-yard completion, I think, was it week 2, right? Against the 49ers, ended up getting tackled inside the 5 and then didn't score a touchdown. But Watkins, I think, is going to give them a lot of problems. And I already mentioned how the Bucs give up 40 yards to 3+ guys. So Smith is going to be one. Who are the other ones that are most likely? To me, it's Zach Ertz and Quez Watkins. Jalen Reagor and Miles Sanders are probably 4 and 5 options in terms of that. Maybe some Kenneth Gainwell as well. But I really like Quez Watkins to have a good game tonight.
Yeah, I'm with EC. I got Quez over 39.5, and I also like Devonta Smith over 71.5 yards. I think he's finally starting to hit his stride. I mean, he's been really good the past couple of weeks and had a couple of touchdowns negated this season as well. But the reason why I like Quez can hit 39.5 in one play. You know what I mean? It just takes one, and he's getting at least one of those deep bombs every game. I hope they ramp that up, give him at least 2 deep shots a game. Jalen Hurts, man, when he throws deep, he can put it on the money. We saw that last year with Deshaun Jackson. We've seen it this year already come to fruition. So I like Quez over 39.5, and I really like Devonta Smith, 71.5 receiving yards. I'm feeling that for Smith, which, his receiving yard prop is higher than anybody else in the game. His reception prop is higher than anybody else in the game. More than Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans. I don't know if I'd touch that, but I do like Devonta Smith. And if you notice the routes that they're making him run, a lot of his routes are downfield. They're like deep comeback routes, deep outs, deep posts. So one reception, he's picking up 12, 13, 16 yards of reception. I like 71.5 for Smitty.
Some good bets tonight. A great game, we hope. We are hopeful for a great Buccaneers versus Eagles. Ray, did you not even have time to grab a drink? You were running straight from your car and all that traffic
I've
to
got
your seat.
I've got the Hydro Flask filled with Topo Chico water, so there's some Topo Chico in there.
I saw someone comment and ask him about your Topo Chico, but have no fear, Ray has the Topo Chico.
I do.
Elliot, what'd you end up with?
I ended up with tequila because it was like a 90% chance I was going to end up with tequila. It's in the morning it's coffee and at night it's tequila. I love Ray's call of Devonta Smith over Turns out that his weight wasn't a huge issue. It's almost like guys who are ballers and amazing route runners and produce all-time college seasons are good, right? I know it's really hard to wrap our minds around. I do want to throw out one bet that's 18-1. The game over 52.5. Jalen Hurts throws for over 250. Chris Godwin gets over 50 yards, something he's done in every single game this year. And then the Bucs' two biggest weaknesses are covering the running back and covering the tight end. So Sanders over 25 receiving yards and Ertz over 44 receiving yards. If all of that happens, it pays out at 18-1 on FanDuel Sportsbook. I think that's going to I don't think that should be 18-1. I really like that bet.
Okay, so I've got something that I want us to do on this show. I've got something that I want us to do. Who's going to score the first touchdown of this game? Who's the first touchdown scorer of this game? Who is it? If you were going to put any action on this bet, who would it be?
I want Brooke to go first because she continues to nail these.
Who's scoring the first touchdown?
I don't think y'all are going to like my pick. I don't think you're going to like it, but I'm sticking with my Aggies, and I'm going the GOAT to Mike Evans for a deep touchdown, back corner of the end zone. That's what I'm hoping for because it sounds like a fun highlight. And
plus 800. Plus 800 on Mike Evans. Plus 800. 8-1 odds on Mike Evans. So Brooks got Mike Evans. EC, who you got?
I'm going to go with Leonard Fournette. He's got 19 red zone touches, which is the most in the NFL. The most for the Buccaneers. And he's using the pass game and the run game. So I'm going to go Leonard Fournette.
All right, that's 9-1. And I am going to take the Slim Reaper at 14-1. Devonta Smith to score the first touchdown. I think Philly scores first. I think Philly comes out in this game, scores first. Devonta Smith gets on the board, 14-1, first touchdown score.
I feel like I'm going to bet all three of these. I'm going to bet all three of these after the show.
Get them all. I'm kind of hoping the Eagles score right away because I think that's their only chance to win. Yep. Honestly, just to stay on top of the Bucs this entire game is their best chance to win. So we shall see. Any last words from my lovely hosts, Elliot and Ray?
I just wanted to say that I own Jays too. You know, I know you guys pull out the cool shoes every time, and I never have anything on my feet. But I figured I just want people to know that I too, not as cool as you two, but some people think I'm cool.
I got some too down. I don't have these on today, but these were underneath the desk, so I too own Jays as well. Yeah,
you two own that. Three. I own the fluffy slippers tonight. We went straight fluff slips. With the MLB jersey, I'm just throwing it all off tonight, guys. I don't even know what's going on.
So good. Appreciate it, Brooke.
All right, we're ready for this Buccaneers and Eagles game. Thank you guys for tuning in. For Elliot, for Ray, for FTN Network, I'm Brooke Romer. Thanks for joining us for FTN Happy Hour. Cheers.